All right, guys. So I'm just doing a quick recap on the what we did in the market. But before doing that, just guys, make sure to check our webinar and psychology page for the updated list of presentations that we have. So today we have Ed Martin coming because we're getting into the earnings season. And Ed Martin is coming, how to trade after hours. And this is very important because a lot of time you can get really good volatility when the earnings are coming right at the 4 o'clock on the Eastern time. So it really something that you might want to consider that, guys. I might send an email today, but if I don't send an email, you always come and check the website. So both webinar and psychology page are both updated. And again, next week we have a really good speaker, Stephen Goldstein. We have Peter coming back, talk about charge of your trading using the lightning bolt pattern. So it's one of the pattern that he's using on VWAP. So he's going to have that discussion with us. And then again, another VWAP we have on April 15. So, just come and check it out. So, we might miss sending an email, but the website is always updated for those of you. And these webinars, all of them would be recorded. And so if you can't attend live, the recording would be available into the education center inside the website. So you don't need to be worried at all. Obviously, of course, some people can't make it. So that's the discussion that we had. So I just wanted to mention yesterday we had a really good presentation. I want to do a recap on the trade that I did on MGM, and that was a heck of a trade. But I really needed to mention why I took that trade. So MGM was gapping up, I think 20-30% or something, almost 35% gapping up. So what happened at the open is, let me bring a SPY chart. At the open, SPY started squeezing really bad. So the market started from 931, huge squeeze, all the way up to 10 minutes, just huge squeeze, went up a couple of percent. But what I noticed that was nothing happened to MGM. MGM was consolidating above the VWAP. So I was watching it, and I took one trade short for the break of $14 for essentially for a 5-minute opening range breakdown. Although the stock was gapping up, but I kind of felt the weakness because he couldn't really push above these levels and moving averages and VWAP and everything. So I saw that it could be a good short candidate. I kind of got stopped at first, but I saw that it really can't break above these moving averages and lost the VWAP, so I went back short again, heavy size. And as you see, we got a really good drop from 14.20 all the way up to, what was the last cover on it? I think the last cover was 11.50, yeah. So 11 all the way 11.50. So a 30% drop to minus 10%, and now it's coming back up 10%. So this volatility on MGM is just unbelievable. And the main point that I just wanted to mention is this divergence between the SPY. So again, this is the strongest stock. You were supposed to, when the market is just ripping higher, you were kind of expecting this one goes higher too. But that divergence kind of was a signal for me to go short. That's why even I got stopped out first, I went back short again, and just huge drop on that. And again, if you look at the time, and just if you have the time frame just kind of together, you see that when the moment that the stock was just ripping higher all the way up to 940, let me come here a little bit. Yeah, so between 930 to 940, when the stock was really ripping higher, MGM was consolidating all the BVAP. That's why. The first trade, I really shouldn't have got stopped out, but because I was having a bad day on AMD and Uber, so I was kind of in a psychological mess. But this is just a monster trade, and it just lost it. AMD was a trade that the open I got squeezed really bad, and that was a bad trade for me. I mean, again, opened really weak, it pulled back, and this pullback I started short. But that was a really bad trade because when stock is pulling back, it almost should be half of this size of the candlestick. When it's pulling back almost on the high of that candlestick, this is not a good pullback. You really shouldn't have added into that. And as you see, I got stopped out above the VWAP for a really bad loss, and market just ripped higher and higher and higher. But that's okay. You don't want to get squeezed like this. I mean, it's okay. Always take a bad loss. Not to accept a very heavy loss. So that's my same thing that happened Uber. Again, Uber, for some reason, again, it's an idiotic trade. SPY, Uber was red for the day. It did have a doji, and I just jumped in on the short for opening range breakdown, but absolutely there was no reason because he never even came close to the low of the day. So this doji kind of fooled me. I just jumped in too early and I got stopped out. And again, a huge squeeze with the SPY. I'm glad I wasn't in there. So it was crazy that honestly, I don't know why I did that. Both AMD and Uber. It's just AMD maybe not much, but Uber was just this is idiotic trade. I don't know why. It's very again later it dropped. SPY kind of lost it too, and Uber as well. So let me get. Let me bring this one here on a 5-minute chart. Yeah, and later, later Uber came below the VWAP, lost the VWAP, and again, market was so weak that I started being short, added more to my short, very heavy size, and as you see, we got all the way up to the low of the pre-market, and even below that, 25.34. So from 26.63 all the way up to 25.54, and the last piece I got out, yeah, so that was pretty much, that was pretty much it. 25.67 was the low of pre-market. So 3 trades for me: AMD, MGM, and Uber, and so no more position. It was a pretty good day for me. But the lesson that we got for MGM was this divergence between market and the stock in play, which was a really strong signal. So SPY is kind of chopping around the previous day close, so squeezed up, lost, had a really big day. So again, this it seems that kind of find the bottom on the market, so it doesn't seem that it wants to go any lower, so it might just chop around until the COVID-19 stabilizes. Oil is still really down. Again, oil is kind of related to the whole economy. So if the market and the economy is slowing down, nobody wants to buy oil. Oil means energy, it means movement. US dollar is still strong against many of these currencies. And let's see, Roku, I think Brian took a couple of good trades in Roku. I think he took a reversal here, and at the open, I think he got this move up on Roku. Roku or Square, I'm not sure which one, but he did that. And the chat room did a really good day. I mean, we had a couple of people had really bad losses, but looking at the trade tab, what do we got? Anyone wants to share a new thing? Ryan PDT. Ryan PDT. This is CCL. So you short super scalp right at the minute number 1, just right at the open, short cover, and then you went short and you got to stop that. So that's the second trade he got to stop that. This is the first trade he scalped it, and and he flipped his position. Yeah, so that's good. As soon as he came above the VWAP, he flipped his position, and that's his third trade. So then he made money here, he lost here, and then he made money here. So that's a really good trade and really good risk management. Ryan PDT. Noel Young, what did you do? Oh, that's a nice. That's very nice. You went long. This is Uber. You got to stop out, but you went back long again, and you got this beautiful pop. That's nice. That's exactly the market is just squeezed up. Near one of our good traders. Thanks, Near, for your testimonial. I really appreciate that. And that's Uber at 10:30. Yeah, reclaim. No, that's the VWAP is the blue line. So yeah, you took it. This is the triple bottom. You went long. Beautiful trade. Nice. And you did try to take a short here, but you covered too early. That was the place that I went short, but I actually added more here, and then we got this move down. So yeah, I think I went short here. I added more. I don't know why you didn't stay in this trade, but I got this monster move and you didn't. Prince Trader, thanks Near for your testimonial. You can see Near in our website for his testimonial. He's from Israel. CCL pop above the VWAP, beautiful, and then you got to stop out, and then you flip your position short and all the way drop down here. Nice. CCL is giving a really good volatility. Zen with us for over 2 years. HAL, this must be an airline, is it? HAL, I don't know what it is, but it looks like an HAL airline. Yeah, so that looks like a opening range breakdown, some sort of things on a 5-minute, and beautiful monster trade. I don't know what this the volume profile. Do you ever use this? To be honest, I know a lot of you are using it. I swear you don't use this at all. You just put this chart because it looks nice. I never found anything on this volume profile, to be honest. I know Thor is also using it, but I want to know if anyone using this volume profile. It's such a useless indicator, to be honest. What is that one, Ryan PDT? Yeah, so Ryan PDT copied my Uber trade. Good for you. Let's see what on the options tab. Jared traded something. Jared is becoming a monster options trader. Let's see what he did. What is that? You were trading put options. Oh my god, so puts, you shorted market 380. So that's another thing that what Jared got in options, that he's a really good trader, guys. You got to follow Jared on options. So instead of shorting a SPY, so you can buy the put option, he bought at 380, sold at 490. Just calculate the percentage, guys. So here's the thing for options, guys. SPY, I know a lot of you trade the SPY, and Ayman is doing it, but if you want to short a SPY at 250 and cover at 240, what's the percentage that you can gain? And how much buying power you need to use? Instead, what you can do, you can buy put option. So you can buy a put option at 380, or depending on what strike price. And when this market drops, this one goes up. So 380 to 490, which one is more percentage-wise and buying power-wise more efficient? So especially SPY, because the options are really liquid and low spread and really nice. Especially SPY, you can trade options, and the options is something that are coming in the community, really coming into the community. Jared and Norm and I are working on developing a course, and really we want to grow the options community as well. It all started with NAS, and again, I'm just it's mostly my fault that I'm not putting too much time on it. But again, as you see, I actually have an options tab here, so I'm messing around sometimes with options. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you tonight in Ed Martin webinar. See how this guy is doing his stuff on the earnings. And yeah, thank you so much, guys. See you tomorrow. Today is Wednesday. See you tomorrow on Thursday. Stay safe.